what's in the God's mind. Listen.
It's the Ticket Plug. We've been running an online ticket business for over a decade, and now we've created an easy way for you to do the same thing through our private ticket resale community. Joining our community will give you a way to flip your bread and generate profit income consistently. We provide you with all the tools, training, and resources needed to start your life-changing online ticket business. Zero experience needed. To join our ticket resale community, go to thetickettrap.com. Again, go to thetickettrap.com. That's thetickettrap.com.
Yo family, real quick, I'm proud to announce the soft launch of Sincereluvdagod's new book, From the Womb to Illmatic, a hip-hop inspired blueprint for unlocking your child's inner genius. This ain't your average parenting book, this is for the culture, inspired by Illmatic, built around his own son Seven's early development, and packed with real tools to help parents turn everyday moments into genius-level learning. If you've ever wanted to give your child a head start without losing your roots, this book is for you. Available now on Amazon. Order now and leave a 5-star review. You already know, we raising brilliance around here.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.
I'm Allah in the person of Sincereluvdagod.
Yeah, that mean they arms too short like tall Anthony Shaw.
What's up?
What's going on, family? What's good? Welcome to another episode of SincereluvdagodCast. I am the God Sincere Love, back in the house once again with my lovely co-host, Nicey Girl. We are in the digital building. What's going on with y'all?
Happy Father's Day. Happy
Thank
Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, even the ones who
Absolutely.
are not allowed to see their kids because of their crazy ass baby mama. Happy Father's Day to you from me.
Oh man, I don't wish that on nobody.
I know.
I don't wish that on nobody, man. Man, yeah. Happy Father's Day to all the real ones, all the kings out there, holding it down. You know how we do. You know what I'm saying?
See, I got a haircut. I got a haircut.
Okay, yeah, I do see you looking nice right there with the bob going on.
I was supposed to go shorter, and then I chickened out. So I went with the bob, and then afterwards I was like, I want to go shorter. So maybe my next hair appointment, y'all, it may be shorter.
Gonna be even shorter again.
Yeah.
You always switching it up. Always switching it up. What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome. Appreciate y'all tapping in. as y'all coming up in here, man, make sure that y'all hit the like button. Share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that we are live right now on Sincere Love the Godcast. Y'all see I'm in my new little setup, situation I'm trying to put together that it still ain't quite put together, but you know what I'm saying? We making it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? And y'all here with me, so that's what's up. If you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast.
Absolutely. So how's the book doing so far? I know you did a soft launch, but you also in the barbershop, so I know things kind of happen over there too. So how's everything going?
Right. So the reception has been fantastic. People love the book.
Nice.
Even before they read the book, when they see what the book is about, a lot of people are excited about it. They really want to support it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like people want to get the book because they want to support me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which I love. Like, even with my music, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't listen to my music because, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to support me. Listen to my music if you think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? So It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the book. It's the same thing with the book. Like, you know what I mean? People been giving real good feedback on the book. And so I appreciate the warm reception. You know what I mean? Y'all make sure y'all go get that. It's available on Amazon and Kindle right now. From the Womb to Illmatic, a hip-hop inspired blueprint for unlocking your child's inner genius by Sincereluvdagod. Y'all could go get that joint right now. I think I put the link in the description. If not, I will put the link in the description. And if somebody could grab the Amazon link and drop it in the chat right now, that'd be cool as well. You know what I'm saying? One of my mods. Shout out to Black Voltron Reloaded in the building. What's going on? Mama Love in the building. What's going
Mama
on?
Love. You know what? Why am I not in the comments? Let me get in the chat.
Blessings. Peace and blessings. What's going on with y'all, man? We wasn't here last week, right? That's why it feels like it's been a minute.
Here. Yeah, last Sunday was my birthday, number 50. Yep. Number 50. Yeah, so I was at a concert. I was chilling.
Man, you hit 50 kind of quiet.
I did.
You was kind of easy with the 5-0. People be going ham. You be going ham when they hit that big 5-0.
You know what? It was just like, wow, for me. Like, I had to, like, obviously went out and hung out and stuff like that, and got the calls, the gifts and stuff like that. But it was really like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, not in a bad way, but it's still like, wow, like, sometimes I have a 20-year-old, I have a 30-year-old. Like, Jasmine makes me feel more 50 than Ty does. I think that's why. I don't know, but yeah, it was just like I had to sit back in it a little bit.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. Don't get me wrong. I want 50 more,
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Geminis.
Yes. Oh yeah. We a
shout
little
out to the Geminis out here.
Yeah, but 50 and 30 hit me. 30 I cried. 30 I cried. And again, not because it was just like I started like, how people be like, oh my God, I'm 30, I'm old. I had that moment. And I cried when I was 30. 50, I didn't cry, but it was like I had to sit in it for real. Like I was shocked. Not because I'm here, but it's like, am I old?
Right. You don't feel like it. You don't feel like it. You damn sure don't look like it.
Yeah.
You don't look like what you've been through.
Right. That part. So yeah, but shout out to 50 and I feel amazing. So
that's dope, man. That's dope. Shout out to Mama Love with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Also, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my brother, the Black Dot, man. I just got my copy.
You got it.
I just got my copy of my good brother's book, The Hero's Journey. Gotta laugh to keep from crying. I didn't start living until I thought I was dying. I ain't even get to crack it open yet. You know what I'm saying? Just got the joint, but shout out to my brother, Dwayne Bowser, the Black Dot.
Black Dot.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all go make sure y'all go get this. I think you gotta go to urbanxshop.com for now, and you get the autographed copies. But if you don't get the autographed copy, while supplies last, then you could just order it off Amazon later on, but it won't have the autographed signature. I believe that's how My brother got it laid out. But I got the autograph joint though. So you know what I'm
That's right.
saying?
That's right.
I got the autograph joint though. To Sincere, thanks for the love. Yes, indeed. To the 7 Sincere, my bad. To the 7 Sincere, thanks for the love. You know what I mean?
And then let's not forget, he did hop on your joint, the Masters Table,
Yeah.
album. So if you guys haven't checked that single out, make sure you do that as well.
Yeah, the 120 joint featuring
Yep.
me, the Black Dot, my brother Young Carna Don,
Yep.
produced by
One of
DJ
my
RP
favorites.
Beats. That's
One of my
available. Y'all go check that out.
one of my favorite tracks, by the way.
All right. So yeah, so today we talking about, is immigration a black problem? And we're gonna tell y'all exactly why FBAs ain't out here marching with y'all.
I think they
That's the
know.
topic for today.
I think they know, but we're gonna reiterate it tonight.
Right, pretty much.
Yeah, they know why. We're gonna
Pretty
reiterate
much.
it tonight.
I feel like really the what do you call it? The target audience for this message is the
Black
Negroes
folks.
that act like they don't know.
It's the
You know what I'm
Negroes.
saying?
It's the Negroes.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's really who we trying to, like, nigga. Don't you
Sit your ass
understand?
down and sit down. Sit down and shut up. That's
Because
all.
at one point we all thought it was all cool. You know what I'm saying? At one point
Mhm.
we all thought, you know what I'm saying, everybody was down with the cause and all that. Kinda, not really, but kinda. But at least that's how we behaved.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We might have knew better on some subconscious level, but at least that's how we behaved. You know what I mean? We was off code like a motherfucker. And so y'all niggas that's still off code, come on now. It's 2025.
Right.
Niggas got to get on
Right.
code, man.
And the reason why, we have to get on code, because I was just, when we discussed this morning, what we were going to talk about and stuff like that, I just had to sit on this and I was like, why is it off code and why should Black people, sit our asses down and shut the hell up, when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to this. And one of the reasons is statistics. You know what I'm saying? One, we have been voting for the Democratic Party, who has also tooted their asses up in our face and many, many times, right? And them getting behind these illegal aliens and also prioritizing them over reparations or any other Black agenda that we need. You know, we've been voting for the Democratic Party over 95% for 60 plus years. That's number one. Black home ownership has not moved one iota. We're
Right.
still in a 40% tile since the 1960s, you guys. So voting for these people, with no agenda for us is obviously keeping us stagnant. We're not going up. You know what I'm saying? It's not even teeter-totter, and we're just not moving at all. We're just stuck. You know what I'm saying?
And if you ain't moving, you going backwards.
If you ain't moving, you going backwards. Home ownership is down. I looked up Black businesses by race. White business owners from 2022 through present, 86% is white. Asians next, Hispanics next, and we're at the bottom, y'all. We only have 3.3% of the businesses here in America. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And here we are, voting for the Democratic Party. And let's be very, very clear. Neither party is here for foundational Black Americans. We know this. However, we give 95% of our vote to them. So we're going to focus on them right now. You know what I'm saying? So we give these people our vote and they come to us and telling us how, this election cycle is crucial. They throw it all the burden on us. Yet we've been at the bottom, of every category for 60 years. So if we don't change, they're never going to change. If we don't stop freely giving our votes away to these people, nothing is ever going to change. I seen what's his name, Isaac Bryan from the California Legislative Black Caucus out there marching with illegal immigrants. We got Jennifer Lawrence. I know she's kind of an elder, in our opinion, and we kind of give them a pass, but I ain't giving nobody no pass. She had her crazy ass out there, marching yesterday. We had Big Boy from 92.3 out there yesterday giving speeches on why he's out there, with the illegal aliens. And I understand he's also married, to a Hispanic woman. And,
I don't even think that matters though.
I don't think it matters either. It
Yeah,
shouldn't matter. It shouldn't
right.
matter. And the reason why I'm bringing these people up, and there's more. Carrie, not Hilson. I'm sorry, Carrie Washington. She was out there. The reason why I bring these
That's not
people up,
surprising.
because these people are the very people who have been silent, very silent, deaf, dumb, blind when it comes to reparations.
Right. Radio silence.
Radio
Radio
silent.
silence.
It's
These people haven't said a
disrespectful.
word about that.
Yeah,
People haven't
I
said a
feel
word about that.
disrespected. So you out here campaigning and marching, for these people who are coming, who are here to replace you. Let's be very, very clear. If you are a student of Dr. Claude Anderson, what did he tell you? These people didn't
Man.
come here, they came here to compete and replace. Compete and replace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I said that's where I'm at with it. It's just so sad. And I feel like mainly on Facebook, I'm always arguing. I'm boxing, you know what I'm saying? I'm boxing all day on Facebook because there's so much off code behavior within family, in my opinion, as well as friends, frenemies, whatever you want to call yourselves. You guys are out here talking about, oh, the orange man this, the orange man that. And now listen. Orange man can do what he want to do as far as this with these deportations, as far as I'm concerned. He's doing a great thing. That's a great thing because he's also eliminating a lot of the criminals. And that's who he's really going after, if you want to be honest. Most of the people that they are targeting are people who have long, extensive criminal records here. And I'm just going to speak for California, and I'm sure for the other states as well. But here it's a lot of people, sexual predators, what I'm saying, violent behavior with these people. So he's really getting rid of the riffraff. Next, it should be not just targeting the businesses that are employing these people, but the business owners should be next. Hefty fines. There needs to be some type of consequence. Going up into these warehouses, and things like that, snatching these people up is one thing. But what are you going to do about these people that hire them knowing that they're illegal? There needs
Right.
to be consequences all over.
Right. Because
But
it
I
seems,
digress.
yeah, it seems like, neither side of the argument is really interested in ending the problem.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It benefits both sides to different degrees. And so they just have different ways of going about maintaining it. You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
And now Trump is trying to kind of loosen up as it pertains to the illegal aliens that work in housekeeping and in the farms. So he's talking about, like, let me stall them out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because now all of a sudden we need them.
I saw what did he actually say about that? Because I saw
Let me
like a
pull it up.
headline or something, but
Let me pull it up because I have it in my
yeah, I wasn't sure if that's what he actually said or not. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, what's going on? Can
And
you
then
hear
you
me?
have, yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh,
And then out here you have Karen Bass, who's out here talking about, being a street vendor is not a crime as far as the illegal aliens are concerned. Let me tell y'all a story. Right a year or so before the pandemic began, there's a brother out here in LA. You guys probably have seen him on Instagram, all flavor, no grease, right? And he cooks bomb. He and his specialty, he's the Foundation of Black American, but his
I heard that
specialty is
name before.
is Mexican food. So he would do tacos. He was famous for these quesadillas and stuff. He would do chicken, shrimp, steak, all this stuff. He started off in the front of his house. So in his yard, he had the whole grill thing set up. And I used to go over there or whatever. You would have the police department, the fire department, postal workers. He's literally up the street, probably not even a half a mile, just a block or so away from the welfare office or whatever. So, anywho, all those workers in that building will go over there. A line will be around the corner. I've
Mm,
spoken to people like of other ethnicities that came all the way from the valley to Watts, you know what I'm saying, where he was located to get this brother's stuff. He started to all of a sudden, because he started getting popping, really popping, he started getting fined. And the city started harassing him, and the police started to harass him. The very police who was eating I've seen them there, parked in the middle of the street, lined up, just like the rest of us. They started to harass him and fine him and told him that he could no longer sell food in front of his house. But at the same on that same corner of his house, you got the corn man and the fruit man who was not getting targeted or harassed. He was able to stay. And shout out to him because he got several food trucks and stuff now, so he's not in front of his house anymore. But the fact is, he was being targeted and harassed from doing it
Mm-hmm.
in front of his own place. He lived there. You know what I'm saying? So, but the Hispanics were never targeted or harassed or told that they couldn't do it. They actually made it where they didn't even have to have permits anymore to do it. Because they were saying, and this goes for your governor Newsom, he was saying basically that, you know, targeting these people and finding these people was causing them financial burden.
Mm. Okay. Well, he trying to gear up the campaign for his presidential election.
It's not
But
gonna work.
but so this whole recent series of events really kicked off in your neck of the woods. You know what
It
I'm
did.
saying? And you ended up having like a little viral moment online. Talk
By
about
accident.
talk about that. Tell the story about that video that you had that went viral. If y'all ain't see the video when Nicey, she's not even in the video, so y'all might not even know it's her. But
Right.
you just hear a woman in the car, like when these whatever you want to call these, what do you call these protests that are happening?
Illegal
Um,
alien invaders.
yeah, when all this stuff started happening out there in Compton, she was right there in the car with her son, and she started filming and yelling out the window, telling black people to go home.
And let's
And
be so you know, it's only a few sprinkle. If I saw three, you know, one was too many, you know, in my opinion. But when I saw one black face, it was just like, yo, let me say something because he has no business being out here. Mind you, at this point, they started
he
throwing
might have
tear
been a dark
gas.
Latino,
No, he wasn't. He definitely wasn't a dark Latino.
but yeah, that video ended up going all over the place. I seen it on several different
Platforms.
people's channels and all of that. And so yeah, talk about that whole moment.
So I was Ty and I were in Orange County, my son, and so we were on our way to Compton because his girlfriend actually lives in Compton. So we were getting on the freeway to go over there, and I couldn't. Got on the 17 freeway, and all the exits, you know, were blocked off. I have no idea that there's a protest going on, you guys, because I wasn't paying attention, and I don't look at regular news. I don't look at TV. And so I'm like, why the hell do they have all this stuff blocked off? We're like tripping, like maybe there was a really bad car accident. We don't know. So we get on the 91 freeway, get on the 91 freeway. We're able to get through. We're taking like the back streets. So we get to her house. It's literally happening like 2 blocks from his girlfriend's place.
Mm-hmm.
And so she hops in the car. We're on our way trying to cut through. And I'm just looking like I immediately took out my phone and started filming. And as we got closer to it, that's when my son, no, before we got to it, he was saying something about tear gas. They started throwing tear gas at the protesters. So as we started to proceed to make that left on Atlantic, I seen 1 or 2 black faces. And I just, hey, family, go home. This is not our business. Because I'm worried about you. I don't want you to get caught up. I don't want you to go to jail because what are you out here fighting for? And for who?
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? But so it happened really organic. I didn't know that we were going to run into that. We literally had no idea. This was 100% organic. I was not in that area to see what was going on. We were literally just picking her up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that was crazy.
And
And
let me
so
tell you about
things,
that area too.
yeah, go ahead.
On Atlantic and Compton, in this portion, so where she lives is close to where Serena and Venus
Venus.
Williams would that park over there. And so that park is basically littered with a bunch of Hispanic vendors, food vendors, you know, those fruit truck things, whatever, lined up like literally you talking about at least a mile long of just those vendors out there. Since that day, though, it's been empty. I've been driving over there literally every day just to see, like, are they going to come back now that it's died down? But the reason why it hasn't is because, you know, the military is still over there by the Home Depot. And
Mm-hmm.
that's probably about 3 minutes away from that area. You know what I'm saying? 3-5 minutes away from that area. So they're scared to come out and vend at this point because they're scared of, I guess, getting deported or shut down. It's clean over here.
Man. But the block got hot real fast out there.
Yeah.
And then it started spreading around. I seen there was a couple of protests in my area as well. I ain't really see no
That was
action
surprising.
outside in the street. I just heard people mention it, but I ain't really see no action outside. Nothing, everything was business as usual as I was going about my day. So it wasn't nothing too crazy. But yeah, man. And so
Out here is crazy. Out here, I mean, LA, of course, San Diego, because that's close to the border. You know what I mean? You can, yeah, well, San Diego, once you're in San Diego, you just, 30 minutes or so, from the border. So yeah, it's been popping over there. Of course, LA, because these people have in their mind that Los Angeles or California itself is theirs. It belongs to them, and they're coming back and taking it back. And it's like, no, no,
right.
no, 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 no. No. So I had one in my comments who she told me I need to learn my history. She knows her history and blah, blah, blah. So I would have to educate her. And all of a sudden she blocked me. Bye. She blocked me. Yeah. Because what they're always counting on is us not knowing
Right.
history.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they count on so much. And so when she couldn't beat me in the argument, she deleted me.
Yeah, exactly. Man. And so all these people start running around. I see mad videos. Like I wasn't as active on social media, but I still been peeping my head in to see
Right.
what's going on. I just haven't been really posting like that. We got other stuff cooking up. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure some other things out that we trying to mastermind for y'all. So, what I mean? I haven't been posting as much, but I still been peeking in, seeing what's going on. And I'm seeing all these videos, these people telling us we need to be out there supporting them.
Because it's gonna be us. What happens when you're next? Let me just say this loud. I am not an immigrant. I do not have an immigrant in my family. I am undeportable.
Right.
I cannot be deportable. I cannot be deported. I'm a foundational Black American. There's no immigrants in my family. Okay.
And they know that.
Birthright citizenship, that 14th Amendment was for me, not you.
Right. But they try to like you said, I guess they depend on us not to know, but they try to tell us about how we gonna be next. Like what? We was first.
Right.
What you talking about?
And when have we not been in the belly of the beast? I'm just confused about that
Right.
too. And another thing, these people also show their asses because when you see them arguing, with the ICE agents and the police officers and things like that, they make sure they get into the faces of the Black officers and agents and call them N words with the hard ER or whatever. So they let us know what it is, even when, they always expose their racism. What's different that I noticed yesterday, I want to say, I was riding around yesterday. What they've tried to switch up now is, they've been called out for having their Mexican flags out there. So now they're trying to come out with the American flag and the Mexican flag. But no, 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 no. We saw you the first time. Nope, 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 no. Oh yeah, the thing is, they think we're so stupid, y'all. They think we're so stupid. Keep that same energy that
Right.
you had before.
Right. And so I'm trying to find some of these videos that you was posting and stuff.
We can go to the
Raheem
one
had put
right
up
there.
Raheem, shout out to Raheem Shabazz. He had put up a good video with these two Cuban chicks that was on some talk show
Telling the
talking
truth.
about they was keeping it a bean. You know what I'm saying? They was keeping it a bean, calling out the racism and the anti-Blackness in their community. You know what I'm saying? And basically speaking to their people about getting some act right when it comes to foundational Black Americans. She said, if you're gonna kiss some ass in this country, it better be some Black ass.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? So let me play that video real quick.
única comunidad que nos va a sacar de este hueco se llaman los negros americanos.
100%.
African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only one with the experience of civil matter. They are the only one que tenían el esclavo ahí mismitico. They are the only one that are not gonna get deported anywhere.
Say that.
Say that louder. One more time.
Say that. They're the only ones that know about these civil matters with experience. They're the only ones that can't get deported nowhere. Basically, what she's saying in a nutshell is we're the people with the moral capital and with the energy to move things and get things done. You ain't gonna get shit done without us trying to coalesce with the oppressor class. You gotta understand that y'all temporarily white. You know what I'm saying? They use it, they let y'all have whiteness when it's convenient for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But hold on.
You cannot put them all in jail. So African American community, which is the community that is stepped on by Cubans, the most are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the.
No, we ain't. Y'all gonna have to save yourself. But she did say I clap. I cut her off mid sentence. But she did say I clap for the ones that's sitting this out. You know what I mean? The other one was a little bit like, I don't know. Well, let me just play it. My bad.
African American community that has not come out because it is not. I do. We didn't do shit for them.
I get it. But I don't.
Me and you support, but in masses, we didn't support anything that was going with them. Latinos, look at Cubans specifically. I'm not going to talk about any other community because I'm not part of that community, even though I'm a Latina with them.
She delineated.
Cubans talk shit about African Americans. Cubans did not support African Americans. Cubans think that they all victimize themselves, that all of this, all of that. African Americans are the only ones that are going to save your ass as Latinos. So you better start kissing. If you're going to kiss some ass in this country, you better kiss some black ass.
Yeah, we ain't doing no saving.
I don't even want it. I don't even want your lips on mine. I don't even want your lips on mine because it's going to be disingenuous at this point because you're only kissing it because you need me. You've already showed me your ass. You know what I'm saying? You've already showed me your ass. So, yeah, no, keep them lips over there.
Yeah, we ain't doing
I don't
that.
want it. We're not doing it. But she's definitely speaking, truth to power, and the arrogance of it all, to me, for these people to even demand that we, the people that are at the bottom, stand with them and for them and fight for them when you don't do not in mass, do anything for us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a LULAC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have a history, up until recent times until recent years that we've decided to delineate. We don't have a history of saying that, their problem is not our problem. Before we were stumping for everybody. Always have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't have the history that they have as it pertains to, being in solidarity, with one another. It's always been one-sided.
And because we've always done that, there's this sense of entitlement where they don't do that to nobody else. They're not calling out other communities that are not out there standing with them and rocking with them. It's always us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even other Latinos who are citizens that came here the right way and all that, who ain't worried about none of this deportation shit, they not even rocking with them.
No.
And not only are they not rocking with them, they against them. We just minding our business, drinking our water.
Right.
But we the only ones that get called out. And you had posted a video. I'm just gonna go through your timeline and play receipts. How about that? Mm-hmm. Because you posted this joint where this Asian dude was like, "Hey, listen, man, it is what it is."
With it either.
Right.
I'll say this, right? I'm a nobody, but it's like I've been seeing so many people asking Asian creators to speak up about the whole riots in LA and all the.
Maybe it's the algorithm because I don't see that.
Right.
I don't see that. But all right.
These deportation things. This is something that a lot of people don't understand. Asian people, we support the country. We support, the betterment of the country. We support that. So what is there to say? What is there to say? We support the deportations of illegals. It is honestly tiring because here's the thing: we want the country to be better. We want the country to be better. We want the country to, if you did it legally, if you stand in line, if you paid the price, right? You paid the money and all that. You did all the process, the paperwork, all the stuff, which usually most Asian people do.
Mm-hmm.
So your fellow immigrants ain't rocking with y'all.
Right, and you guys come over here and exploit black people too.
It would make sense for you to tell the Asian community, hey, y'all gonna be next. That would make sense. Right? Y'all sitting this out, y'all gonna be next. Because they could get deported just like you. But coming to us with that, it's like, what? You barking up the wrong tree.
Right.
Holla at your fellow immigrants. And so there was an African brother too. Did you post that one? I know I posted. I think I got it off your page. I thought I got it from you.
No, because I don't see it.
Okay. Well, let me go to my page real quick. If I can.
And while y'all doing that, while he's pulling that up, I got an email. I think it was yesterday or the day before from the Kamala Harris Fight Fund. I don't know if you guys saw that on my timeline. So basically, they're trying to request some donations. They're definitely going to exploit that fact that what is that, Senator Alex Padilla? He was, turned around, showed his ass up to some hearing or something, and he was escorted out by ICE and immigration. And so they're asking for donations for that. Girl, go in your own pocket. Why are you coming over here asking? Don't send me no emails asking me for shit. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Right.
So don't ask me for a damn dime. Don't do that.
Right. But here goes another non-FBA immigrant who's keeping it a bean about how y'all get down. You know what I'm saying? And this is not a tether right here. This African brother right here, he letting you know what it is behind the scenes, how they really be moving. Hold on a second.
In my company, I'm a black man. I own a company. I hire a Latino. The Latino comes back and complain about the African Americans because the Latino thinks because I'm African, I don't have any relationship with the African American.
And they think that because normally that's the case.
Oh, man.
That's the reason why they think that. Shout out to this brother, but he's the exception. The rule is, look, we all immigrants. Mm-hmm. Undermine the black Americans, and they all get on code together under that immigrant solidarity shit against us. You know what I'm saying?
The Latino comes to me and tell me that you are an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. That African American cannot work. I have Jose, I have Gonzalez, my brothers who know how to work very well. You need to fire the African Americans, and I will bring a lot of hardworking Latinos who work for your company.
You said you could hardly hear him?
No, I said he should have fired them. How you gonna come to me, the owner of the company, and tell me who to hire and who to fire? Who are you?
Right. Right.
This is my company as a black man. My company. I was a contractor at Quantico Marine Base in Virginia. A contractor for General Electrics. And the Latino workers that are hired, they are snitching on the African American workers that are hired for me to fire the African Americans so they can bring Latinos to take their place. Because who are working in.
And so we've been knowing that's the get down. That's not news to us. But I'm just saying, now that all of this stuff is going on, they starting to tell on each other and blow the whistles on each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember, one of the biggest lawsuits was here in Los Angeles. A group of black people suing a group of Latinos, for racial discrimination in the workplace. And then we're finding out it's not only happening here in California, but also happening in Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
In Houston, Texas, let me pull that one up. I posted that one. Here we go. So in Houston, Texas, a Hispanic man at Houston Community College systematically replaced Black educators and
Right.
professionals within with Hispanics. It occurs often in the workplace, and this is me. You dummies are outside protesting your own erasure.
Right. Say that again though. That was a
You
bar.
dummies are outside protesting your own erasure.
You out here protesting your own erasure. Y'all in support of your own erasure. That's deep.
So and let's be clear, we've all experienced it, to a degree. I think an experience is an experience. I don't think there's levels to it, you know what I'm saying? But um where I work, in the company that I work for, I will say that it's predominantly Hispanic in management and everything. We do not make up a small percentage, of management positions at all. And I
Mm.
don't think that, and I've said this before, it's not based off of qualifications and stuff like that. There's been promotional opportunities that we don't hear about until that person is promoted. There's like a mass email, oh, congratulations to such and such who has, promoted to woo woo woo. Well, we didn't even know that position, was open. How are we supposed to know that this was even, available for all of us, what I'm saying, to apply for, if that's what we want to do? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there's this thing where you have hand-picked people being
Mm-hmm.
promoted.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
I
that's
see it all the
happening.
time.
That's happening, throughout multiple industries. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? From a low level to a high level, that's happening where you got these not always melanated, but a lot of times melanated immigrants in positions of hiring and firing
Mm-hmm.
and recruiting and things of that
Yep.
nature. You know what I'm saying? And so they putting their own people systematically in place, um, ostracizing and undermining us.
Yep.
And we don't really notice it because we always doing our own thing anyway. We always
Mhm.
building anyway. So you know what I'm saying? It kind of goes unnoticed. We used to not really getting no opportunities in this society like that. We used to having to create our own opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we don't really catch it. You know what I'm saying?
You don't
But
catch it until they start to attack you, basically. When they start to get personal with you, when you start seeing little bull crap that they're doing directly to you, it's like unnoticeable. Like, it's there because, it's only a handful of us, within the organization itself,
mm-hmm,
and you definitely there's none of us in management.
mm-hmm.
You know that clear as day. You know what I'm saying? But until they start to, I guess, target you in a way for little things, you know what I'm saying? Then you like, wait a minute, hold on.
I think that's why the lineage conversation is so important though. Like those of us who are focusing on the lineage
Mm-hmm.
and see ourselves that way as being a part of a ethnic group native to this land and all that, us seeing ourselves that way automatically makes us behave in a certain pattern. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
react to these situations differently than people who are walking around just seeing themselves as flat black. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you can still got a lot of people who don't really see these differences. So that's why they don't really understand what's going on in the workplace. They just see another black person. You know what I'm saying? But if they were
Mm-hmm.
looking at themselves as a foundational Black American with a unique experience, then you would peep all the little micro shit that's going on around you. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't
And
be sleep to that.
speaking of our brother Billions godson, he was on a platform. I want to say that was Thursday or Friday of last week. And so I was, supporting, and I wanted to listen in because what he was doing was he was debating, this Hispanic dude, about Black people not, showing up in protest and solidarity with them doing this unrest, right? And this Hispanic dude, he says that he's a teacher. He was literally the whole conversation rewriting history. Let him tell it. They was getting, hosed down with water hose, dogs sicked on them, like literally he wrote them into our,
Yeah,
struggle.
one
Yeah.
pro.
And, and I'm sitting here, I'm in the comments and now I'm not being disrespectful. Y'all know I got a mouth on me, but I'm not being disrespectful, but I said in the comments, I said, there's no comparative, injustice, foundational Black Americans, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying there's no comparison. The sister on there, as soon as I said foundational Black Americans, she's like, hold on, let me stop y'all, because they're, doing their, debate respectfully. And we're not gonna have that FBA, and ADOS shit in my thing. Anybody on here that's with that FBA shit, block them. Go say less, bitch. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying anything disrespectful, but you over here checking me, a Black woman, you know what I'm saying, and allowing this Hispanic man to fucking lie. That's what you doing. You know what I'm saying? I felt a way about that. And then she started claiming, because over here we African. You ain't in Africa, though. You in LA.
Yeah. She was
You
African?
in LA. You know what I'm saying? She on that, I guess she's Pan-African, and that's fine. Be that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't identify as that either. You know what I'm saying? And I'm respecting your identity. But I'm also gonna call this Hispanic out for lying.
Yeah,
Period.
your
And I did it
ideology is your
respectfully.
ideology.
Yeah, that's
But
just what it is. It's either
your
you are
lineage
here
is
or
your
you're
lineage.
not. Yeah.
Right. Your lineage is your lineage, no matter what your ideology is. So
right. And I don't have to, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to someone lie, on his history or mine.
Yeah, but like I said, Nicely was posting receipts on their ass all week, from putting things in historical context to stuff that was happening in recent times, like, you know what I'm saying, the shit that went down with the city council out there with that audio that leaked.
Yeah, Nuri Martinez and all them calling a little Black kid a monkey. You know what I'm saying? Talking about doing harm to him, talking about withholding resources from the Black community. This is what they do when they are in a position. And let's be clear, they feel like they have their numbers up. You know what I'm saying? So they feel like they're definitely in a position of power to further subjugate us. And they get help from these Negro politicians that we have elected within the NAACP, the California legislative, these assembly people, senators, all that, the Jessica Crockett's, is her name Jessica Jasmine Crockett's, all these people, Isaac Bryan, these are the people that they rely on too, because they help them with further their agenda against us. And I still think, although Trump is in office, Trump only has these 4 years, y'all. The Democratic Party is still betting on these immigrants, and that's why they're behind them so heavy, including these Black folks, is being their new voting base.
Right. That's the whole thing, man.
That's the whole thing.
They're trying to act like the sky is falling. But this is them trying to stitch together that coalition that they've been trying to stitch together for a couple of election cycles now.
Right.
And it's going to fail again, like it always has, because too many of the Latinos identify as like far right white supremacists. Too many of them. That vote is always going to be split. You know what I'm saying? So they'll take all of the goodies that y'all give them, but they're going to still vote Republican. You know what I'm saying?
Locally, though, they may not.
It depends.
You're
right. You're right. It depends on, what city, the type of population it is or whatever. But either way, it's not going to be enough, you know what I'm saying, to really, bring them out of the dirt. Because right now, the Democrats is in the dirt. They got an uphill climb.
They got an uphill climb, but I don't think they feel fat meat greasy. They do not.
They obviously don't.
Yeah,
they obviously don't. They obviously don't. You got these people crashing out, getting arrested, risking their careers and all of that stuff for this shit, or at least acting like it in front of the cameras.
Right.
But it's like y'all doing all of that. All right. But
they showing their asses for sure.
I like this video that you put up, because this is from the 90s, showing you how this ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying?
And that's my era.
Black elected officials refuse to address the problem. My own congressman refuses to address the problem. And I think the problem is Black folks see all minorities as allies.
Right.
And this is not the case. These people are not here for our common good. They're here for their own good. Where I don't have any ill will towards anybody, I also want to look out for my race.
Right.
I'm a Black American. I've never used a hyphen.
And that's another thing, though, that I want to point out, too. When he said,
I'm a Black American. I don't use a hyphen.
Right. And he referred to it as a race, which Latino is not a race.
Right.
Hispanic is not a race.
Right.
These are a whole bunch of different ethnic groups that gets lumped under one category in order to make it seem like the numbers are bigger than what they are. These people don't really have shared history and culture amongst each other besides the language that they speak. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why when we played the Cuban ladies earlier, she was like, I'm only going to speak for the Cubans. I ain't going to try to speak for the whole Latin diaspora.
Right.
I'm just going to speak for the Cubans because I'm Cuban. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the same type of time that we on. You know what I'm saying? We speaking specifically about us, for us, by us, what's in our best interest, not really paying y'all no mind, except for where y'all trying to undermine us. You know what I'm saying? We on top of that type of shit. But as far as what y'all got going on, y'all got to figure that out.
Right. Without us.
You know what I'm saying? Play the rest of this.
But I will refuse to turn my back on my race and see what's going on in South Central to my people and let these people come in here and just take over. I'm not going to sit back and watch it. And I think it's a terrible thing, a horrendous thing for anybody to see this going on and say, well, he's a minority like me, so I won't speak up. I don't care where he comes from. The key to this whole thing is stop the denial, stop the alliances of, in other words, he's a minority like me, so I can't speak up against him. If this was white folks committing these lynchings to us in South Central, what's going on, there would be an outrage in this country.
Yep.
Yo, and the shit that's crazy is he sound then exactly how we sound now.
Right.
And
because
so
Democrats only want to point out racism when it's the Republicans doing it. That's how I took that.
Right, but you see the adverse reactions we get talking the way we talk now.
Yep.
Imagine talking like that back then.
Right.
Imagine talking like that back then. The type of man.
Imagine having social media then.
Right.
Imagine.
He got completely drowned out of that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit didn't move no needles. But now we got voice, we got power. What we say matters. We control the narrative. And so enough of us are on the same type of time where what we say has to be reckoned with regardless to whom or what. You know what I mean? Let me play the rest of this and then we ain't gonna be on here too much longer. I gotta go to dinner with my sons. My son's taking me out for Father's Day and all that. So I gotta get ready for that. But let me play the rest of this video.
We have had firebombs thrown through windows. We have had people's cars burned in the driveway because they happened to move into the wrong communities. We had a lady who moved to East LA, came to the state from the South, not knowing what East LA was. It was an all Hispanic community. She wasn't there one day. We had another man who was burned out of his house in Torrance last year. We had 5 murders in Hawaiian Gardens just because the people were black. This would not be tolerated if this was white on black crime. But the fact that these people come here, and it's the numbers, sir. It's the numbers. They come here in the numbers. They build up the Hispanic community, and they get this sense of power against us. And there are race riots in the schools every day in Los Angeles. It never makes the media. The black kids are being run out of the schools every day and told to go back to Africa. It never makes the media. We are having people who are being discriminated against on every avenue of society, economic, schools, even in our prisons now. The black.
Let me tell you, I've told Sincere this story before, but I lived in Hawaiian Gardens. My graduation year is 95. I'm sorry, 93, y'all. I went to Artesia High School. I lived in Hawaiian Gardens at the time. Black kids were getting chased home, beat up. Boys was getting their jackets, starter jackets taken from them, shoes by the and it was
that shit sounds so crazy to me though, because I think y'all Mexicans is different than our Mexicans. Y'all West Coast Mexicans, it's a whole different vibe than the Mexicans that we get like in New York. Like I can't even imagine like niggas getting beat up by Mexicans. Like that sounds crazy to me.
But the community of Black people in that city at that point was so small. It wasn't a bunch of us. They definitely had the numbers against us because
Yeah, but I could
we
beat up
only
like 7
lasted
of them
out
niggas.
there. We only lasted out there maybe a year, a little over a year, because they set my mother's car on fire. When they set my mother's car on fire, she had to take the bus to work for a while. You know what I'm saying? So she was leaving work in the morning before day in the morning. And so on her way to the bus stop, she got robbed by 2 Hispanic dudes. One punched her. They took her purse, took everything. So of course she comes back home, or whatever. And so they had her keys. Luckily, she called our landlord at the time. He came and changed the locks the same day. They came back to our house around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and tried to use her key to get in. We looking at them through the peephole. You understand what I'm saying? So when our brother is talking about that, when Terry Anderson is talking about that, that is my lived experience. This is not me just listening to him talk about it in the city of Hawaiian Gardens. I actually lived that shit for real in real time. My brother-in-law, who was in the military, stationed in Long Beach at the time when Long Beach still had their military base, they would be at our house and stuff like that. They would get pressed. You know what I'm saying? Just for coming over. Where y'all from? Blah, blah, blah. Like they literally harassed us. My high school friend, Junior, they did throw a cocktail bomb into his mother's house and they ended up moving out. We moved out first after my mom's car got blown up or whatever. We were out of there probably within the next month, if that, or whatever. But my friends, they stayed. We lived in an apartment complex. They lived in a house. They threw a bomb in their house and that's what forced them out. So again, these are people that I know in real life that lived in Hawaiian Gardens that were targeted by Hispanic people, racially targeted.
Yeah, man. But bottom line is, like we've been saying for the longest now, everybody got to hold their own nuts.
They going to, because I can't help. I got Black
Everybody
men
got to
nuts
hold
to
their own nuts,
hold.
man.
I got Black men nuts to hold, Black women hand to hold, Black children to hold. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time. My hands are full.
Right. Man. All right. Y'all make sure y'all go get my book, From the Womb to Illmatic, a hip-hop inspired blueprint for unlocking your child's inner genius. You know what I'm saying? The new book by yours truly, Sincereluvdagod, available on Amazon and Kindle right now. Y'all make sure y'all go get that joint. Like I said, man, people like the book, man. Shout out to Low Key Rich 87 for the $10 super chat. Appreciate that. Y'all are highlighting all this anti-FBA stuff. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what the brother's saying now.
Okay.
Y'all are highlighting all this anti-FBA stuff. I didn't realize it was that much hate. And the fact that the video just played looks old, mean it goes back maybe even further. Yeah, that's what we're trying to say.
That's
Like
the point.
This ain't nothing new.
This isn't nothing new. The fact is we can go back years. We can go back decades and talk about the racism within these other communities against us. And it's still happening. So you're right, it's old, but still happening.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. And so we're the ones that have been having the inappropriate behavior, displaying the inappropriate behavior. You know what I'm saying? So,
and also let me say this, us sitting this out and focusing on our own lineage is not racism. That's just us minding our business.
yeah.
That's us getting our shit together. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to do that whole, you guys are racist because you guys are not standing with these people. I'm minding my Black business.
Right. All the guilt tripping, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
all of the shaming tactics, that ain't gonna work.
My thing is, I haven't heard anyone call on J-Lo. What's that group? Insane in the Membrane. What's them,
Cypress Hill?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Bad Bunny? Right? Like, why aren't they calling on them? I hear them calling on our athletes, our actors, actresses, athletes, all this stuff. But you guys are not calling nobody within your own community. That's crazy. FBA, that's all I hear.
Oh yeah, appreciate that. Black Voltron put the link for the to order the book inside the chat. So yeah, I'll make sure it's inside the description to this video as well. Shout out to everybody watching this on the replay and all of that. But yeah, go get that joint, man. Nothing wrong with what y'all doing, hunting, but buy the book though. Yeah, no doubt. Or did you say you bought the book? Nothing wrong with what y'all doing. I'm gonna buy that book though. Oh yeah, you can say that. I'm gonna buy that book though. Yeah,
that.
Definitely appreciate that for sure. For sure. And listen, we ain't forget about y'all with the children's books either. I know y'all thought we was bullshitting.
Nah.
I know y'all thought we was bullshitting. Y'all like, man, y'all been talking about that book for about 2 years now.
We're not done.
You ain't dropped no book. Y'all niggas ain't got no books. Y'all talking about books and shit. Where the books at, nigga? Yeah, we got some books for y'all, man. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be dropping the new volumes of the seven the Super Heru series on y'all very soon. So yeah, y'all get ready, you know what I'm saying, to hit the Amazon and the Kindles for the babies. What we got coming? Anyway, back to school soon. School just ended, but it's gonna be back to school soon. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how we get to roll things out for y'all. But y'all just look forward to that. All right. Anything else, Nicely, before we dip?
No, I'm about to cook dinner. Thank y'all for watching. Black people, mind your own business. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you support reparations bills in your respected states as well as federally. If you feel like, you are someone that can run for one of these seats, we encourage you to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We need more of us in these positions to run for these seats because we have a lot of anti-Black, hostile, immigrants, filling up these seats in order to further their group and subjugate ours. So let's make sure we get into the mindset of running and connect with like-minded, Black folks and build.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Very important, man. All right. So family, always remember, never forget, we are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Appreciate y'all tapping in, family. Peace and Black love.
Do for self or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious. So I move.